Now our next topic is variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong and weak electrolytes. In the previous lecture we have discussed in general molar conductivity has inverse relation with the concentration. If the concentration decreases, molar conductivity increases, and if concentration increases, then molar conductivity decreases. So today's topic is what is the variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong and weak electrolytes respectively. So what do you mean by strong and weak electrolytes? So strong electrolytes are those electrolytes which are dissociated into their ions completely. For example, HCl, NaCl, KCl. These are known as strong electrolytes because when we add some water into their solution, we make their solution, they are completely dissociated into their ions as H positive and Cl negative, or Na positive, Cl negative. But weak electrolytes are those electrolytes which are not completely dissociated into their ions. So degree of dissociation for weak electrolytes is always less than 1. Alpha is less than 1 for weak electrolytes, and lambda is also alpha is equal to 1 for strong electrolytes. This we have already discussed. Alpha is degree of dissociation. So now we will discuss how variation of how molar conductivity changes with change in concentration for strong and weak electrolytes different. So if we take the example of strong electrolytes, it is noticed that the value of molar conductivity changes very slowly with change in concentration. What does it mean? The value of molar conductivity means lambda m changes by very small amount if we are changing the concentration. Means if we are decreasing the concentration, lambda m should increase. It increases but by a very small amount, and it means lambda m approaches a certain limiting value when the concentration of the solution is very small, or you can say when the concentration of solution is almost zero, then lambda m has attained a value known as molar conductivity at infinite dilution, and it is represented as lambda naught m. So what does it mean? Lambda m, change in lambda m is very small with change in concentration, and if the concentration is continuously decreasing, lambda m goes on increasing, and when the concentration is almost zero, then lambda m has a certain value known as lambda naught m, and this lambda naught m is known as molar conductivity at infinite dilution. What does it mean? Lambda naught m means molar conductivity at infinite dilution. This variation was studied graphically also. For example, if we plot a graph between lambda m and square root of the concentration, then when the concentration is high, for example, the value of lambda m is this, and I am decreasing the concentration, so lambda m goes on increasing like this. If I am decreasing the concentration, the value of lambda m goes on increasing. So this is the graph for any strong electrolyte, let it be HCl, NaCl, KCl, etc. When we are continuously decreasing the concentration, its value goes on increasing, but the variation is very small. At this very concentration, lambda m has this value, and if we decrease the concentration, lambda m increases by only small amount. And if this concentration approaches to zero, so I will plot it as a straight line like this. If concentration approaches to zero, then at this particular amount concentration is zero, so this value is known as lambda naught m, means molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Infinite dilution means when the concentration is zero, so this variation is very small as compared to the change in concentration. Why this is so? We have learnt that in case of strong electrolytes, they are dissociated completely. Means if we are adding more and more water, means we are decreasing the concentration. Number of ions will increase, but by a very small amount, because they are almost completely dissociated, because they are strong in nature. So by decreasing the concentration, number of ions will increase, but only by a small amount, so the change in lambda m will be small. So this variation is also given as lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus a under root c. This equation is known as Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation. Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation, where lambda m means molar conductivity, lambda naught m means molar conductivity at infinite dilution, A is constant of proportionality, and C is the concentration of the electrolyte. And if C approaches to 0, this concentration is 0, then we can easily write as, if this amount is 0, then lambda m will be equal to lambda naught m if C is equal to 0. So this constant of proportionality depends upon the nature of electrolyte also. For example, if we have NaCl solution, this solution is known as 1:1 electrolyte. And if we have CaCl2 solution, this is known as 2:1 electrolyte. And if we have magnesium sulfate solution, this is known as 2:2 electrolyte. So what does it mean? These 1:1 means charges on cation and anion. We know sodium has 1 positive, chlorine has 1 negative, so 1:1. Calcium has 2 positive, but chlorine has 1 negative, so 2:1. Magnesium sulfate, magnesium has 2 positive and sulfate has 2 negative, so this is known as 2:2 electrolyte. So value of A depends upon the nature of the electrolyte. So this is the variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong electrolytes. Next is the variation of conductivity for weak electrolytes. So for weak electrolytes, again lambda m increases with decrease in concentration. Next case is of weak electrolytes. So again molar conductivity means lambda m increases with decrease in concentration. And for weak electrolytes, the change in value of lambda m with concentration is very large. For weak electrolytes it is very small, but in case of for strong electrolytes it is very small, but for weak electrolytes its change is very large, because weak electrolytes are those electrolytes which are dissociated very slowly, but if we add more water then they are dissociated almost completely, but not completely. So the number of ions will increase upon dilution and the value of lambda m increases for weak electrolytes. So for weak electrolytes, molar conductivity again increases with decrease in concentration, but the major difference is that for weak electrolytes the change in the value of lambda m with the concentration is very large. Okay, so graphically it is represented as again lambda m and square root of concentration. If we plot a graph for any weak electrolyte, the graph is like this one. Means first one, if we are decreasing the concentration, it increases and immediately increases. So variation is from this to this much level with change in concentration. This is for any weak electrolyte, let it be acetic acid. So if we are decreasing the concentration, value of lambda m goes on increasing and variation is very large. But one major difference is more, that we cannot extra plot this graph to touch this line. Means we cannot say that if the concentration is 0 then lambda m will be equal to lambda naught m. Means for weak electrolytes we cannot say that lambda m is equal to lambda naught m when concentration approaches to 0. This is not possible for weak electrolytes. Means we cannot have the value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution for weak electrolytes. So this is one major drawback means for strong electrolytes we can easily calculate the value of lambda naught m from lambda m when the concentration is 0. But for weak electrolytes we cannot use this formula, means when the concentration is 0 their values are equal, because graph cannot, if we extra plot this graph will goes like this, but this will not touch this line. ठीक है. So for overcoming this problem there was a law. For overcoming this problem there was a law known as Coulomb law, which helps us to calculate the value of lambda naught m for weak electrolytes. Before discussing the Coulomb law, you have to write the formula for weak electrolytes. We cannot calculate the value of alpha. Alpha means degree of dissociation, and degree of dissociation is lambda at C, lambda m upon lambda m, where the concentration is C and where the concentration is 0. Means alpha is the ratio of molar conductivity at any concentration to the molar conductivity at 0 concentration, and we don't have the value of lambda naught m for weak electrolytes. If we don't have this value, then we cannot calculate the value of alpha for weak electrolytes. And for strong electrolytes we have known that alpha it is almost equal to 1. So for these two problems there was a law put forward by Coulomb, and this law is known as Coulomb law. So next topic is Coulomb law. Coulomb law. So what is Coulomb law? It is noticed that each ion makes a definite contribution to the molar conductivity. So first you have to write the definition. According to this law, each ion makes a definite contribution to the molar conductivity at infinite dilution irrespective of the other ion. What does it mean? According to this law, each ion makes a definite contribution to the molar conductivity at infinite dilution irrespective of the other ion. For example, if we have KCl and NaCl, each one, देखो इन्हां दे विच की कॉमन है? क्लोरीन. Chlorine's contribution to the molar conductivity will be same for both electrolyte, whether it is joined with potassium or sodium. Means each ion makes a definite contribution irrespective of the other ion. Means its contribution will be same to the molar conductivity at infinite dilution, whether it is joined with potassium or sodium. This is known as Coulomb law. Or second definition of Coulomb law is, or the limiting value of molar conductivity the limiting value of molar conductivity of any electrolyte can be expressed as the sum of molar conductivities, sum of limiting values of molar conductivities of cations and anions. So what does this definition mean? For example, if we have NaCl, we notice that it is dissociated as Na positive Cl negative. So according to this definition, limiting value of molar conductivity means lambda naught m. It can be written as sum of this lambda naught. It is again lambda naught, but this is for individual ion. Lambda naught of sodium positive plus lambda naught of chlorine negative. So the limiting value of molar conductivity means lambda naught m can be written as sum of limiting values of cations and anions. One more thing we can written, it is written as V positive V positive lambda positive naught plus V negative lambda negative naught. So here V positive and V negative are the number of ions. देखो, in this case sodium chloride, it is equal to 1 and 1. But if we talk about calcium chloride, it will dissociated as calcium 2 positive and 2 chlorine negative. So in this case, the V positive will be 1 because the number of cation is 1, but V negative will be 2 because the number of chloride ions is equal to 2. So there are two definitions of Clash law. First definition was each ion makes a definite contribution to the molar conductivity at infinite dilution irrespective of the other one. Second definition is the limiting value means lambda naught m of any electrolyte can be expressed as the sum of limiting values of the electrolyte of cations and anions. ठीक है? So the problem of knowing the value of lambda naught is solved. So if we know the value of lambda naught m, then we can also calculate the value of lambda cm upon lambda naught m, because we can calculate this value using this law. So the important application of Clash law is that, first application is that with the help of Clash law we can determine the value of lambda naught m for weak electrolytes also. Second application, with its help we can also determine the value of degree of dissociation for weak electrolytes. Third application, you can say we can also calculate the amount of dissociation constant, which is given as K is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Because देखो, first we can calculate the value of lambda naught m, then we can calculate the value of alpha, and if we know the value of alpha, then we can also calculate the value of K. So by using Clash law we can easily calculate these three values: molar conductivity at infinite dilution for weak electrolytes, then the value of degree of dissociation for weak electrolytes, and then the value of dissociation constant for the weak electrolytes. So with the help of Clash law our three problems are solved. Now again numericals for your exams, which are very important based upon the Clash law. So first numerical, the molar conductivities the molar conductivities at infinite dilution for sodium acetate, hydrochloric acid, and sodium chloride are are 91.0, 425.9 and 126.4 Simon centimeter square mole inverse respectively. Calculate the molar conductivity of acetic acid at infinite dilution. So this acetic acid is weak electrolyte. So with the help of these data, we have to calculate the value of lambda naught m for acetic acid. So we have given sodium acetate. Sodium acetate means CH3COONA. Second, we have given hydrochloric acid HCl. Third, we have given sodium chloride NaCl. So lambda naught m of CH3COONA, it is equal to 91.0. It is equal to 425.9 and it is given 426.4. And we have to calculate CH3COOH. This value we have to calculate. According to the Clash law, this lambda naught m will be equal to lambda naught of CH3COO negative plus lambda positive negative of Na. Similarly, it can be lambda of H positive plus lambda of Cl negative, and this will be equal to lambda of Na positive and Cl negative. So with the help of these three equations, we have to find the value of CH3COOH. It will dissociated as CH3COO negative plus H positive. So we have to find the value of this with the help of these three equations. So we need this and this, CH3COO negative and H positive. We want plus sign, means we have to add equation 1 and 2. 1 and 2 we have to add and then subtract equation 3. देखो, if we add 1 and 2, 1 and 2 means if we add lambda positive of CH3COO negative plus lambda negative of Na positive, यहाँ पे negative यहाँ पे positive, plus equation second lambda plus of H positive plus lambda negative of Cl negative. I had added equation 1 and 2 minus 3 means lambda positive of Na positive and minus lambda negative of Cl negative. This is positive, this is negative, cancelled, this is positive, this is negative, cancel. So we are left with CH3, COO and H positive. So this is 91. This value was HCl 425.9 minus third 126.4. So answer will be 9, 6, 11 minus 126.4. It will be equal to 9 minus 5, 4, 5, 0, 390.5. हाँ जी, it will be Simon centimeter square mole inverse. So with the help of given data, we can calculate the lambda naught m for any weak electrolyte. हाँ जी, next one more important numerical is calculate the molar conductivities of magnesium chloride at infinite dilution given that the molar conductivities at infinite dilution for Mg2 positivity is equal to 106.1 Simon centimeter square mole inverse, and for chlorine it is given as 76.3 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. So we have to calculate the molar conductivity of MgCl2. Now this MgCl2 will dissociated as Mg2 positive plus 2 chlorine negative. So for calculating the value of lambda naught m for magnesium chloride, we should have the value of magnesium 2 positive and 2 chlorine negative. So according to the Clausius law, lambda naught m, it is equal to V positive into lambda positive of cation, that is Mg2 positive, plus V negative into chlorine negative. So what is V positive and V negative? These are the number of cations and anions. So for magnesium, the number of cation is 1 and this value is given as 106.1 plus V negative, number of anions, it is 2. So 2 into value of lambda naught for chlorine, it is 76.3. So its answer will be 106.1 plus, it will be equal to 258.7 Simon centimeter square, Simon centimeter square mole inverse. 258.7. So these V positive and V negative are the number of cations and number of anions respectively. So this is all about your Clausius law.